You're welcome to the program. Yeah, that sign is a sign of progress. I'm Wale Ogwande. I'm with my host today.
Yes, it's good to be here.
I co-host today, rather. But be that as it's me, we are both hosts anyway.
Yes, we are. It's good to be on Voters Forum. How's the weekend been?
Weekend. I'm going to this weekend.
This weekend?
I'm going. Don't see me dressed.
Okay,
I told you I belong to the Owambe party.
Amazing.
So make other people they do their own party.
Okay, you're very welcome to Voters Forum. My name is Rose Blossom, and of course today we'll be talking about something very interesting. You can catch us live on all our social media platforms at Galaxy Television, and if you want to watch us live, maybe you're on the move, you can actually download the app from Google Play Store or Apple Play Store. Just type in Galaxy TV and you download the app and watch all of our live programs. And during the course of this program, interestingly, we have a spot whereby you can send in text messages. So there's a number below the screen TV where you can send in text messages. So you're welcome to the show again.
Welcome to the show. Let's enjoy the show. I'm Wale Ogwande, your host on this program. Last week, if you remember, we had one of our guests, and of course there's no need of unveiling him. We have to unveil him because he's one of the infant terrible that gave the government of the day, particularly the military and the security agencies, a run for their bullets. In fact, they were shooting at him. I could come ask him that question when he come back. But before, be that as it may, because of his activities and his participation last week, which was not too full, we won't see him live and koro. Technology did not make it happen last week. So we now said we'll bring him, and he obliged us. Despite his very tight schedule, he's with us in the studio. Very soon after the mini future, we'll unveil him. And of course, we'll get cracking. Call your people. Those of you who do not know the story of June 12, those of you who do not know the story of even before June 12, all the activities, particularly the wahala that Abacha put us through, that Babada was busy dribbling us. You know what brought about Maradona today? Tell your people where they far. Either they connect on us on social media, or they come and sit down gidigba in their various houses. Even if you don't have power, go and get generator and
or download the app. Yes.
Or send SMS to be involved. Don't be away. We'll soon be back. Just tell your people that you're around. We'll come back. Yes, you're welcome back. The intro or the mini feature was quite clear, and what we'll just do is that we'll just take it off from there. Our guest today is no other person than OSA Director. OSA Director is a lawyer, journalist, or as he wants to put it, journalist, because that's what he was before he became a lawyer. And he is one of the pro-democracy activists. Let me just leave it at that. Let you now hear. You now hear from the horse's mouth. Ngbo Horse, how are you? Welcome.
It's good to see you, my brother.
It's good to have you here today.
Thank you very much.
Because from last week I heard it was a big one. So today we're about to make it bigger. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yes, Osa is one of those who are the leading lights in the democratic struggle. He may be young. Some of us, of course, we too we are young. We played. Everyone has a role to play. Some of us in the trenches, in the streets. Some of us in the legal field. Some, of course, in the trenches, in the journalist, in media. He is one of those who really made the media peak. Well, I won't take much of your time. Let him just, for the next 10 minutes, I want you to run us through how this journey, real one, from the Abacha days, the Babangida days when we started, and of course, how did it come about that name, Maradona and Co, because I know it came from the press or one of the people who gave him that name. Please, from that place, just take us round till when we eventually got to the June 12 itself. Then after that, maybe we'll go for a short break. Then we'll now take it up again. The June 12 till present day.
Thank you very much, my brother, my comrade, and co-host.
Thank you.
I'm excited to be here. But let me say that I'm not exactly young.
I know. What I mean is that compared to our leaders. That's what I mean.
And we have our elders.
That's what I mean.
Right. And that is one lesson the NSAS generation must learn.
Yes.
You can't do this alone.
You can't.
You need a combination of those with the experience to combine with those with the energy, so that you can move forward.
To cut you short, when this NSAS thing started, I called Femi Falana. I said, Ogafemo, that's how I call him, that, are you involved in this? He said, no, those boys just decided to die. I said, let's call them. He said, since they decided not to invite us, so let's just wait. See, the Yoruba proverb is that when the head of a pikin turn in the market, is the papa, the elderly person that knows how to strengthen it. So if the pikin decides to leave the baba alone, we'll be looking at him. God will help him.
Because as a matter of fact, you know, based on experience, there are things you can foretell that will happen. You know, I knew that if they involve the military, we're going to use live bullets. There was no argument about it. They had done it before, and they would do it again. And you know, they don't learn. They've not learned. We don't learn anything from history. So, I mean, if they had co-opted us or related with us, they would have restructured the struggle when we have achieved the aim, because by getting the government to make some concession, at that point in time, there should have been some negotiation. Like with the church said, it is better to judge than to war. Because even war, we always end up in judging. Because when you want to now divide the spoils of war, you have to come to the table and do that. So if you can avoid those destruction and the spoliation of the environment, why don't you just do it? So anyway, that is by saying, I hope they've also learned their lesson. Talking about the struggle for democracy under military dictatorship, we started from General Ibrahim Babangida. Actually, it was General Muhammadu Buhari in 1983, and that is why there's no love lost between me and General Buhari, because I was just undergraduate in university, and we're enjoying this feeding. You know, every Sunday there's chicken, and every Thursday evening there's chicken. You know, it was just meat of 50 naira, you know.
50 kobo?
Yeah, 50 kobo. I mean, with 45 naira, you can stay for the whole semester. You know, it's difficult to differentiate between a rich man's son and a poor man's son, because once you remove hunger from poverty, you have solved it. And you know, for those of us who were also students, you know, these people come to you to even dash you meat because they want to be your friend, because they want to be in the line of fire, you know. So that's it. So when Buhari came on December 31st, 1983, the first thing he did was to scrap food subsidy. That was the first thing he did. You know, so he went against education. And like my good friend, the late Professor Tunde Fatunde, will always say, the development of a nation is also a reflection of the quality of education. So by the time you lay an onslaught against the educational system, it means you are not ready to develop. And that was what Buhari started. And because of his unbendable and divisive principle and stand, he was removed by his colleague, General Babangida, who we describe as a benevolent military dictator. He was always smiling. You know, calling the Tutti General. You know, so, and he came, but when he started his convoluted transition program, which was endless. You know, he came in August 1985, August 27 to be precise, and he said he was going to leave in 1990. He embarked in engaging on kind of machinations and dribbling. 1990, he said no, that they would need to extend. He set up political bureau. You know, thereafter again, when we got to 1990, said no. 1992 said no. 1993. So he kept shifting the date, and he kept bringing up kinds of policy. He set up the Politburo. He set up Center for Democratic Study, headed by the late Professor Omomori. You know, he set up MAMSA. You know, headed by Professor Jerry Ghana. You know, preaching the gospel of Mamsarism and enlightening people. All these were devious tactics to delay the handing over to civilian. He was not interested in handing over. So that was when the media decided to take on him, especially Tell magazine. And I was in Tell magazine, and we wrote an article, I think 25 traps against the transition program. And we kept insisting that this man was not ready to hand over. And then he embarked on an onslaught. He kept the siege on the media, you know, closing down media organization, seizing copies of Tell magazines on the street and all that. And that was what gave birth to what you call guerrilla journalism. Because you see, they say when the bird, when the hunter learns to shoot without missing, the bird will learn to fly without perching. So once they just seize the magazine, once seize the magazine, in the next 24 or 12 hours, we roll out in tabloid form. You know, we no longer care about the aesthetics, but just let the information out there, you know. So that's how we tackle Babangida. And because of the corny political meandering, he was not nicknamed Maradona. Because Maradona was the best footballer at that time.
It's because of that corny.
Yeah, he was only dribbling, you know. To the extent he would dribble past the goalpost, you know.
You guys, you are dumb for him too.
So he
will not forget you.
I remember, you know, he kept complaining, that why are these people? I mean, these people breathe right, and everything's about IBB. So yeah, because you are giving us a hellish time, you know.
You are giving us headache.
Yes, you know what I mean. You are the one who said you wanted to hand over. We didn't force you to say.
This is like the bed that perched on a line, on a rope.
Yeah.
The bed no go get better.
Yes. Yeah, and the rope not go rest. Yes. You know, if you say your mother is not going to have a good sleep, you as a baby will not have a good sleep too. So I think we're just resolved and determined to ensure that we checkmate him, no matter what it took. And it took a toll on us, you know, at the cost of sometimes the supreme prize, you know, some jail, being detained, and losing your freedom and abbreviation of your liberty. But it was good enough for our democracy and
now that you went there, sorry. Now that you went there, because there was a day I saw your picture, I wept. This man is not a criminal. They handcuffed you, leg and hand. Why?
Yeah.
Now, when that happened, how will you feel? Because to me, you know, this surprising will bring out the the strength. You know, were you resolved that no, I'm not going back. I'm continuing for them? Or you had some you became born again that no, I'm going back. I won't be involved in all this struggle once I get out of this wahala.
Quite frankly, without engaging self-glorification and adulation, I think it strengthened my resolve that these people are ready to go so low, then you should be very, very determined and prepared even for the ultimate prize.
No retreat.
No retreat, no surrender. You know, for me, I just felt that metaphor or figurative statement that the pen is mightier than the sword should be pragmatized for the benefit of the historical and political advancement of our nation. You know, that picture came to be because some of my friends, even though some of them say jokingly, but I also refute it. Like my father said, if a man lies against you jokingly, you also deny jokingly. Because if you don't, somebody else there will just take it seriously. So some of my friends will tell me, oh, come on, how is it possible for you to get the photograph? You know, you snap when you are on chain. It was divine intervention. You know, I was detained and kept incommunicado. So when I was brought to the magistrate, because there was pressure from you guys, you know, we're outside and the international community, Amnesty International has declared of us prisoner of conscience and all the rest. So they felt, you know, kind of tokenism. Some we are already serving life jail, like George Umba, Ben Charles Sobi, Chris Sayan, Kunle Ajibade, and the rest. So they just felt kind of tokenism. Let's take this guy through the legal process. So they took me to court on that day. And I was in chains, as you said, you know. But unfortunately for them, you know, there was divine intervention combined with your commitment to the struggle. You also have your own tactics. So when we got to the magistrate court at Gida Motala in Kano, you know, that chain you saw, man, was heavy.
I know.
I didn't know.
I know.
Because I wanted to move. I said, wow. I couldn't really move. It was like waking up to 10 kg.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know what, like, so they took me to the court. Fortunately for me, the magistrate had not come. So I was left there, and the two security officers said, because I was chained, I mean, there was nowhere I was going to go. I couldn't run. They said they want to go and just take something, maybe a drink or just have some snacks. So they left me there inside the courtroom, and I saw lawyers. They were sitting, but you know, because I was chained, they were all running away from me because I thought I was a very criminal. You know, so I had to devise a way to attract their attention. So later I said, wow, this reminds me of the words of Wole Soyinka in his book, The Man Died. Oh, go come and see how your work is being travesty. It's a travesty of a goon. You know, so then one of the lawyers said, wow, this guy speaks good English. You know? So he walked to me and said, my friend, you're speaking well, and you are quoting Warishanka. Who are you? I said, my name is Usa Director. The guy screamed, is it your Usa Director they've been looking for? Tell journalists. So he called his colleague, come and see Usa Director, come and see Usa Director. So they all came around. So I tell, look, they've helped me communicate. They said, yeah, we know. They said, please, what do we do? Then it was then the secretary of the NBA Kano State, Dele Olaniyan, just walking. He said, comrade, come and see Usa Director. The man screamed. The man said, it was actually his suggestion. He said, look, this must be documented for posterity. Yes. You can't dehumanize a human being like this, you know? So he said, what do we do? I said, look, I have a photographer around the studio. He has a photo studio. So I directed him to be, I said, please tell him to be fast. And you come through the back and hold his camera up. If they catch it, they are going to destroy the camera. So he did exactly that. That's how I was taking this. And it was immediately finished that these two officers didn't know what happened. They didn't even know what it was. The next day when Tech published it, that they were all shocked. And I'm sure some heads rolled because, I mean, even at years, you know, even there should be honor among thieves or criminals. So they also felt, oh, we have been exposed, you know. So some heads rolled, obviously, that why did you allow this guy to take this photograph? So it was fortuitous, and it was also the ingenuity of being in the struggle and then divine intervention that culminated in that photograph getting out. So that was exactly what happened. But like I said, I wasn't shaking because I was a young man, not married, not so. I mean,
you see exactly right. Yeah, the spirit of Aluta. How many with this one? It's all right.
Kickstart some things in most of our youth. Those who are probably giving up or those who are looking for strength. I hope your story is definitely going to be.
Maybe we'll do. Let's go, because student unionism now is no more. But that I just want it to be hanging. I want you to go. After that, I knew that definitely the military were looking for you. Your base was in Kano. From there, you were pushing stories to us in the south here. How were you able to escape these people? Because even you said some few seconds ago that some lawyers who ought to know that you are did not know. Not to talk of military guys who don't read, who don't look at anything. So how are you? And you are getting those information, sending it, and there were no mistake about the information.
Yeah, the truth was just that, like my bosses, especially my editor-in-chief, Mr. Nusai Gero, would say, he was always full of commendation for my activity professionally, because I was literally in the belly of the beast, you know. I was in Kano. General Sani Abacha was from Kano. His dreaded CSO, Major Mustafa of Kano.
Is it Gwazo or what's
the NSA? Ismaila Gwazo was from Kano, and you have some other henchmen from neighboring place like the IG, Kumasi from Katsina, just 1 hour 30 minutes away. You have Gumel and all those people, you know, and then retired Halilu Akilu, you know, of DMI, you know, they were all from Kano, they were all based in Kano. So it was strange to them that, wow, how this boy monster, so you're from the belly of the beast. And I think a lot of factors played. One, the name Osa Director. Initially, they felt it was a pseudonym that, oh, come on, you can't have a human being getting all these kind of stories. So they just, when they get tough stories, they put a funny name like that, Osa Director. So that's so they didn't know I existed. You know, by the time they also got to know that I existed, you know, my size too also played the role, you know, because when you see me, you can't imagine this is the guy that will be, you know, I look harmless and, you know, so they just felt, all those ones helped me, and then there was this determination. I'm a bit sociable, let me use that word. You know, I just move around.
So you just go to the pub, to the restaurant,
and you find me in unlikely places. To be very, very honest, you find me in unlikely places. Sometimes, when they are looking for me, I'll be in Bukavu barracks. That's the military
inside the barracks.
Yes, you know, I have friends there. So you just find me in unlikely places. That's all the truth. So you have to be unconventional about this, and just like you said, it has to also do with your training. We were very, very well steeped in students unionism. You know, you don't you learn these things and
they don't buy it on the street.
Yes, you don't buy it on the street.
You.
So that's why I feel so sad today when I look at the level of decay in student unionism, if it still exists at all. You know, so but then during that time, that's where we got our training from. So those things help me, and then you also have to the benefit of Nigerians. Like I tell people, it's not everyone in government that are bad. And not everybody outside government are good. Yeah, so you had a lot of people who were in the system during Abacha and IBB. They were not happy with what was happening, and they were giving us first-hand information. I know there are a lot of times, I think there was a day I just got to Kano and they just told me, hey, boy, they sent a message to me, you got to get out of here now, because something is coming, you know? So you have people like that who were in the system, who were very, very helpful. I never met this young man too. When Mustafa now became a victim, when he was detained for several years, accused of killing Kudira, you know, I have a philosophy. I always support the underdogs. So I interviewed him several times, even inside the prison. You know, we wrote the stories and all that. So people were wondering, why a man wanted to kill you? Why will you be doing that? So somebody, one of the BGs, the bodyguards, they were a special squad set up by Mustafa. The guy wrote to me. He said, I was head of the special squad to eliminate you. Under the direction of Al-Mustafa. But I sabotaged that system because I have a northern name, but I'm from your state, Edo State. So that's why I sabotaged this. And now you are supporting. I said, I'm not supporting. I'm not supporting. I'm just doing my job. You know, he's a victim. I'm sure most of us have managed. So he has the right to be heard. You know, we cannot say because he did that, then you are not going to be fair. You know, I mean, access to information, everybody must have access. So that was what I was doing. That basically, I'm not enamored, I can't be a friend of Mustafa. And I can tell you today that since Mustafa has been released, I never called him, and he has never called. Because he wasn't my friend, and he's not my friend. I just did my job. But I can tell you that I breached the security in Kirikiri at least 5 times. To interview him face to face. The rest didn't know who I was, but he was the only one. I saw Bamiye, Peter Babop, and all those. They were all there, but they didn't know who I was. But he knew. You know, I had a way of going inside.
Director, your story is beautiful, it's amazing, but I know it was not easy. Because at that time when it was happening, it wasn't this easy to talk about. It's like, let me just call you a living legend, I must say. But Barrister, before we continue our program, let's go and take a glass of water. Let's have a short break. We'll be back. Don't miss it. This Osas Director, if you have not known, go and Google it. Anyways, let's go for a short break and we'll be right back to the studio to continue.
Yes, welcome. We're having a very frank discussion in the studio. But I guess our guest may oblige you because we are enjoying here. I hope our guest will oblige you by giving you a tip of the iceberg of what we are saying here. And I would not want to go too far. Sir, I want you to take off from where you stopped about how you are getting news from Kano, which was the hotbed of the military activities as it were, because those who are involved there are from Kano, and of course pushing it down here. Then of course how it now strengthened the democratic struggle, particularly the Nadeko people, particularly we in the trenches, the labor. I remember, I can't forget Baba Frank Kokori. I can't. When is it Bafiao now? Who was this guy that
was a traitor
that sold us out?
Yeah, Bafiao
was succeeding.
Bafiao and Shomole, because Bafiao was the president of NSC. Shomole was his deputy. And those are both prancing around today as Democrats.
But to us is that Bafiao, the box stops on Bafiao's table. But I don't want us to jump the gun. I want you to list it. If care is not taken, you'll come back again next week. Because we want this story to be told so that people will have an understanding of the June 12th struggle. Yes, that we celebrated 25 years of democracy in Nigeria. Some people made it happen. Please just lead us on.
Let me add to what Barrister is saying, because the initial thing is we want to let the people know. Like you said, when you're talking about the NSTAS, it's because they did not know the history. So some of them don't even know how to go about it. So while you're listening, listen with the advice of how they could have gone about it. Just in case if they are planning to make another market, this is the way to go.
Yeah, I think I want to agree with you that in as much as we criticize the NSAS generation, the Gen Z, you know, that they didn't want us and all the rest, we also have to blame ourselves. How education have we done in terms of even documenting our activities and enlightening them on the road, the long walk to freedom, you know, which is still ongoing, still a process, you know. I would say that going back to the days of putting under Babangida, then later Abacha, it was a really tough one that a section of the media, especially Tel, and then the news and Tempo, decide that, well, they are going to embark on guerrilla journalism. Like I said, when we print, they will cease. They will just ambush, pack everything. Once they pack it, in less than 24 hours, out in tablet form, because no longer care about the aesthetics. It's just about getting the information out there for the people to know and read. And you know that it came to such a way that Tel and the News and Temple, they were just like the Holy Bible, you know. What you call FRA, Free Readers Association. You know, things have changed. Where vendors are street corner, and you see people gathered who don't want to buy, who don't have money to buy, keep reading, and then I started charging them. If the thing is 10 naira, it's okay, 1 kobo or so, 1 naira to read for 1 hour. You read and keep. You know, so it was so funny because you know, but this was based on the sweat and effort of daredevil journalists who were determined to pay the price, you know. And I want to also commend a lot of people, especially in the North, like Konebaka Dangiwa Umar, you know, who resigned his commission as a military officer based on the injustice of the annulment of June 12. He spoke to his commander-in-chief that he should annul June 12. If he doesn't, then he's calling it quit, and quit. People like Major General Shola Williams, you know, said he cannot serve under General Sani Abacha, that he cannot imagine a man of the Abacha abbreviated intelligence being his commander-in-chief, you know. So he also, I mean, these are great people in Kanu like Alhaji Abdul Karim Dayabu, you know, they were determined to expose Abacha and the military, even though they were from the north. You know, there was this divisive propaganda by the military trying to say June 12 is for Southwest. You know, it's a Yoruba propaganda. So they try to get the north out of it. But people like Abdul Karim Dayabu, Konabaka Umar, Kone Yohana Madaki, the late Alhaji Abdulkadir Barabe Musa, former civilian governor of Kano State, James Bawa Magaji, who was deputy governor, you know, people like they were young elements then, Shehu Sani, and Obasani, who is the current governor of Kaduna State. So they put a lie to all of those things with their determination and commitment to ensure that the frontiers of June 12 was expanded and that we put the military to test. But I will tell you that it was so shocking to the military that consistently we are untiring in revealing even the inner of what was happening in Asoro. But they couldn't imagine, because some people would say, how is it possible? Some say, no, you are not. They say, this is a lie. I remember, I still say this thing, I said it last week, you know, there was a time I was asked to investigate Mohammed Abacha and estimate his worth. So when I finished and I got to the Ministry Editorial Board in Lagos, so my bosses said, okay, can you say it's a billionaire in dollars? I said, yes, he's a multi-billionaire. No, it's a millionaire in dollars. I said, it's a multi-millionaire in dollars. Some of my colleagues say, that can't be possible. I hope this is not an Ebony story. How can he be a millionaire in dollars? I said I didn't say he's a millionaire. I said he's a multi-millionaire in dollars. But do you know, at the end of the day, the story was run that way and not the rest, when I provide some documentary evidence. But when Mohammed Abacha was not tried, when he appeared before the SIP, Special Investigation Panel, he confessed that there was a particular day they drove to CBN. Then Oguma was the CBN, the governor of CBN. He said he collected $700 million. Which he kept under his bed in the house. So is that not a
which country doesn't go to dream?
You know? So I remember I went to some, I said, you see? One of them was honorable enough to apologize. You know, to say for that thing that you said was a one time. Say somebody can keep $700 million under his bed. You know, all the guys that they didn't want sanctions from Europe, but everyone knows did they return that $700 million back to the CBN coffers? You know, so these are the things that there were a lot of people who were within the system, both military and civilians. You know, they were not happy what was happening. And they were committed to give us information. You see, I go to see certain people, 12 midnight, 1 a.m. You know, I really didn't know the passion was just there. It was just like, if these people are determined to say, okay, we must rule and subject people under the barrel of the gun. We were resolved and committed to say no. We are checkmating you.
And we are freedom.
Yeah, we are bringing freedom. We must checkmate you. We must check out of that place. We must expand the liberties of man. You know.
Let us now look at this idea, because that's the core of even your coming today. How did you now put the heat on the military? You, pen, with the gun or the sword, and the pen was able to overwhelm the sword. What happened? Because I know someone like Babangida was afraid, and someone like Abacha did not even leave his Aso Rock villa. I'm sure. I mean, let's even assume you were there this time some few days ago in Aso Rock. You see the way that place is fortified. I've been there too, and I know that place itself is a rock and is a villa. To get there, nobody. You don't even if fly won't pass, they go break them down.
Yeah,
for someone to be inside that place and be afraid of common pen where they write, what happened?
Yeah, the truth is that it was really funny because it was what I call a pragmatization of that aphorism that the pen is mightier than the sword. You know, because I must also have to commend our bosses, my bosses in town. The Sai Gable, the Mountain and Merciful Whiskey, Dari Babarisa,
you were very radical.
You know, because why did I say so? Sometimes I imagine how would my life have turned out if I was working for a conservative medium. You know, because they were the one who said this is our editorial policy. The pursuit of democracy and the rule of law. And they gave us absolute freedom. You know, so some people did not seize the freedom, but some of us seized it and worked tirelessly, and they encouraged and they kept encouraging us and said, come on, move on. To the extent that, like I told you, 12 midnight, 1 a.m. There's one of them who called me the other day, you know, when he knew I was a lawyer, that I'm not a lawyer, so he wanted me to do certain things to him, for him, legally, which I did. So when I called him to say, I've finished, he gave the phone to the wife. The wife said, you are my house, you have started this year.
I think again.
This is what you know, a retired military officer. You know, these were people who also not happy what was happening. And they only just needed people who they could trust. Because it takes time to be trusted. You know, like one of them told my boss, when the thing was getting over, we went to see him to say thank you. My boss traveled with me to the place in the north, and I went to say thank you. And the man said, look, this boy, that's why he called me then and said, this boy, officer director, I don't know the kind of human being he is. There are sometimes I was also scared that I hope this boy is not going to put me in trouble. I hope he's not a security man. But the odd hours he will come, 11 p.m., 12 midnight, 9 a.m., and he would say, I'm going, sir, after we are finished. Because the documents that be given to me and things like that, you know, the way you you know. But at the time, I was not derobed and unveiled, let me use the word, you know, when I was arrested, and then my picture was not plastered everywhere. So we now said, okay, fine. I sat down, which is in my next book I'm writing now, Journalist on the Run. That's my book. You know, I wrote one before, Suicide Journalism, which detailed my detention experience. So I decided to what do I do now that I'm so known? I said, okay, fine. maybe I should be traveling abroad, you know, then get stories there. If by the time I get stories there, come back and start releasing the stories. You see, and that was exactly why there was a challenge of finance, but we had to do it. So I'll travel to UK because we now had Nadeco abroad. Nadeco abroad, we are mostly in UK and the US. Yes. People like Papa Inauro, people like General Ani Akirade, even the present president, Bola Tinubu, the young thugs like Senator Tokumbo, Afkuyomi, former Sana Minister, Bolaji Akiyemu, the late Air Commodore Dan Suleiman, Honorable Olawale, Oshun, yeah, you know, a host of them. Then there was
going to talk about Nadeco
so too. That was, at some point I was now nicknamed Nadeco reporter home and abroad because I would cross the Nadeco route, cross over to UK.
What did you call it?
Nadeco route.
Nadeco route.
That's the Nadeco route.
Yes.
Yeah, unconventional means, you know, that will get me to Benin Republic. From there, I go to Aflao border in Ghana. Then I now go to Kotoka International Airport in Accra, where I will now finally take a flight. Yeah, there was something that happened one day in 1997. We were going for a Chogom, Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. So I also took the Nadeco route, and I got to Kotoka. So when I entered the aircraft, I saw the late Festus Yayi, former ASU president. Yes. He was putting his luggage in the overhead compartment. So I just put my hand behind his back. I say, former Bacha, you think you can run? You know, so because inside the Ghana, so when he turned back, I said, oh, sir.
That's a great one.
Yeah, you know.
I hope you have no heart attack.
Yeah, you know, so that'll tell you how tough it was, you know.
It was tough.
Yeah, you know, so
those of us around too. Yeah. It wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy. So I will not get there. Interview some of these people, spend it by a month. I usually don't like abroad, you know, when I'm just going and just seeing the weather. Yeah, the weather. And I'm seeing strange environments. I say, oh, no, I want to go back. Yes, yeah, when I go to Victoria Station, I see everybody. It's not like go show me. I say, what happened? Yeah, I want to go back. And then no swallow.
So, let me give you a gist. The other day, I went to when I got to London. My colleague, my host, did not come on time, and I was hungry. Obviously, I ate on the plane. You know, there's no swallow on the plane. Is this the apafun, all sorts of. Anyway, we landed there to now eat. Now, my colleague my host now came and took us to a an English restaurant. The same thing that was the thing they were serving. All their food in flour. Oh, nothing. Come.
Yes.
Swallow. Now took me to somewhere in Peckham.
Peckham, I have a special one on old control. You know. So when I will get those stories, say about 3 weeks, a month, I'll come back to Nigeria, and I'll be writing interview with Bola Jakiem, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you know, in London. And these are exclusive interviews. So they will think I'm based
in London.
I'm not based in London. You know? So we'll be hitting them, you know? Until when I now start reporting local again, say, it's like so what they don't, I'll take off again, you know. I remember the current president, I interviewed him. I went to his house in New Cavendish in the UK, an interview, which was, I was arrested along Nadeco route when I was coming back as a border, so I had to, you know, find my way around it, you know. But they see some of those things, so they see the interview and all that. So the next year, 1997, he had relocated to the US. I had to pursue him back to the US because so that he wouldn't feel we didn't use the interview. I went to meet him with Dr. Bolonyomi in his house in Bowie, Maryland. I'm talking about the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I interviewed him again, where he said, Abacha told me he voted for MK Abiola. You know, which was the headline of the interview. MK Abiola, Abacha voted for MK Abiola, Bola Tinubu, you know. So this was the way.
That's enough to embarrass the president.
Yeah. So those were the things that probably also pushed him, like you said. The man knew that the cat was out of the bag. Yeah, so
and the heat was on.
So the international community, he now became isolated.
A prisoner of himself.
He was a pariah. Yeah, a prisoner of himself and his circumstance and ambition. So he was not a pariah. He was isolated in Asoro, and he was also sick. He was medically challenged. You remember the story we wrote a week before he died, when Yasser Arafat came, when he had black lips, cracks, and all that, you know. When he used it, you know, and with
some like
cracking,
buns
on his neck. That, you know, with his dark goggles, you know. We used it and we said, Abacha illness worsens. You know, that was it.
Another big one that really embarrassed government.
Yes.
Mustafa was jumping up and down.
The guy, Mustafa was something else. I think he was the de facto president.
No, he was, not think
because since the president was isolated, was not coming.
They had knelt for him.
Yeah, it was. And there's even this part, you know, when they executed our great friend Ken Sarowiwa.
Yes.
People had it that Abacha was not aware, had not given the order.
Yes.
But people like Mustafa and the rest gave the order that Ken Sarowiwa should be executed. So because it embarrassed Abacha.
Yes.
You know that we are going to Auckland, New Zealand.
Yes.
You know, for the Commonwealth of Government meeting.
Yes.
It was why the foreign affairs minister was making all the noise around. Tommy Kimi was mid-air that he heard that Abacha. So he was embarrassed when that was he was confronted when he got to Auckland that he executed Ken Sarowiwa. He was shocked and he started rambling, you know, because
I remember that interview.
Because the CSO was
and you know Ikimi is someone who is very eloquent when it comes to talking.
Yes.
But that time, that interview, unfortunately,
he was shocked. He was mid-air.
Okay, so permit me to call you legend because of our time. We've been hearing a lot of your beautiful stories. In fact, in my head, I'm like, can I actually go this far?
You must go far. That's why it's training you.
Exactly.
You must go far.
So now the thing I want to ask is, for the media, what advice would you give as a legend? You could penetrate and bring out even those things that they call them secret. You could bring it out to book, and you were just persistent and resilient on just keep doing what you need to do to get the freedom. What advice would you give to the media? And for the young ones, yes, they should go back to the books, learn their history and all of that. What again do you think they are missing? If they really need to take that long road to freedom, how should they go about it?
Yeah, thank you very much. It's just like, you know, footballers of the era of Christian Chukwu. You know, Shegun Odegbami, Mathematica Shegun Odegbami, Justice Adoke, Amasi Meka. Yeah, you know, when they see
Mudalawa,
Felix Owolabi,
did you mention Adoke?
Justice, it was the Justice Adoke, Amasi Meka. Because we had Ernesto Konkwo, who was giving them a quick Silvanus of Pala, Christian Chema Chukwu. Emmanuel Gojo for Okala, you know. So when those ones look at the era of the Austin Okocha, Sunday Olise, Rufai, Finidi George, they thought they didn't make money, and they will even say, how serious are these guys? Because there are times then when they were accused of Okocha of trying to select the matches he would play, even though he was very committed, you know. But now people like Okocha, Omokachi, Finidi George, when they look at the Osimens of this world today and look at the multi-million dollars they are earning, and now they don't even want to play for a national team. They are not putting the nation first. They will also see what is happening. It is the same way when we look at journalists of today. Everything is materiality, you know, material based. How comfortable are you? I give you an instance. I went to give a former staff of mine something. I said, please, this is for my friend, just help me publish it. You know, as I was going to say, Oga, what of what?
The thing now.
What are you saying? He said, no. I said, Oga, you give something to the boys now. I said, that's the kind of training you gave. He said, Oga, na name una make. We are making money.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
wow. So that's the problem.
That was the honor. He said, Oga, he said, you 30 years ago, they are still hearing your name. We are making money.
Wow.
So you can see now there's a different in vision and focus.
Yeah. Very different.
You know, your mission. We were ready to make a name and make the country better. Not all of them, because I see a lot of very brilliant, competent journalists here. But most of them, or some of them, say instant gratification is money that they want to make. So my advice would be that young journalists should know what you just said: persistent, resilience, being focused and determined, and know that integrity
I told you when we were starting,
and it opened doors.
I told you when we were starting that by the time we say don't do now, you go. That's where you want to start. But we'll breach protocol. We want you to come next week. Is it possible?
I don't know if I'm chance. We'll see.
Okay, we'll talk to see. I like you see. That's the journalist in him now. He didn't want to give us his word from the lawyer because we have not started. Have we started?
No, we have
not started. We want to know the struggle. You see, this issue is about democracy. We want to educate the Nigerian public on their rights as voters, and we want them to have a history, just as you do. And that history is about what they were going to do for them to move on.
Yes.
So in rounding up, by the grace of God, next week we'll see what we'll do.
Yes, but next week we'll communicate with you if you can be here, and of course our viewers will be looking out for you. Thank you so much, legend Osas director. It's good to have you on the show.
Thank
you. I hope you learned a lot. For those who are still, keep it locked up next week. Osas might still be here to give you so much details about the history. We love you. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Rose Blossom. Have a beautiful weekend.
Yes, have a beautiful weekend. We need that history. Thank you so much for coming, my brother.
It was nice being here.
Yes, I'm Wale Okwade, the host of this show, and I hope that next week you'll be with us. And of course, we'll be here for you. And together, we'll get some wonderful insight into whatever topic we'll be bringing to you. Till then, stay blessed.